Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Kender, and this is my master story. A little bit about me. I was born on September 14th, 1999, in a town called Holden, Massachusetts. I am the youngest in my family. My family consists of my dad, my mom, my sister, myself, obviously, and my dog, Buddy. My calling is to inspire and protect those that need it the most using a balance of active listening, understanding, and empathy to ensure people feel encouraged rather than being put down. I discovered uh, that this was my calling back in fifth grade. I was around 11 years old at the time, and what my class was doing was we were going on a final farewell trip to Mystic Beach. And as I said, it was to say goodbye and thank you for 5 years of academics at this elementary school that I went to. My issue was I was not the best student academically speaking. I struggled a lot with speech. I struggled a lot with reading, and I struggled a lot with writing. And so my teacher, before going on this trip, sat me down and told me all I have to do is jot down some bullet points on what I've learned throughout the trip. And at the very end, when everybody collects the essays, you will come back to the school and you'll meet with your instructor, and they will help you fully write it down. Miss Austin was a fantastic teacher, and she understood what it meant to have a disability and was encouraging and kind and wanted to help me prevail. The issue is when we got to the beach, however, the boys got one cabin and the girls got another, because this was a sleepaway, like a week away from home field trip. I got put in the cabin with the chaperone teacher that does not believe in learning disabilities. So the week went on, and I did what I thought was right. I jotted down some bullet points after every field trip. I hung out with friends, I had a great time, and then it came time for the last night, like the final night. We decided to have a little party as a way of saying goodbye from the field trip. The party took place in my cabin, and in order to go, the prerequisite was you had to hand in your journals. Again, not thinking anything of it, I hand in my journal, and it is not up to standard. It's bullet pointed, like I said before, but this guy just was not having it. I told him to talk to my teacher, that there was an arrangement set up and that everything was understood, everything would be fine. He wasn't having it, so he kept me from the party. Now I'm upset, I'm crying, there's tears in my eyes. I can't focus on what's going on because there's a party literally through the wall. And so I was just really struggling, and I finally did finish it. I finished the journal entries, but unfortunately the party was over and I could not go. And so the next morning comes around, we get on the bus, we head back to the school, and everybody's like raving about this party. Everyone's laughing, everyone's having a good time. And then it comes time that somebody asks me, it's like, hey, where were you? And I had to say that I decided to go to bed early. I was embarrassed. This was the first time ever that my disability made me feel small, and that somebody in a position of power made me feel less than. So we get back to campus, and everybody's waiting. The parents are waiting, all that. And my parents take a look at me and they see that I'm upset. And so they bring me in to go talk to the vice principal, and we got it all sorted out. I got an apology from the guy, but I vowed that day that I would never let that happen again. And so I didn't. I stood up for myself. I buckled down. I got to work. Now here I am, all these years later, and I'm getting a master's degree. So, and there have been other moments in life that have come up where a similar sort of situation happens, where there's a teacher who thinks they're in a position of power, can come in and talk and basically use their authority on me, and that I can't do anything because I'm a student. But since that day, I don't let people talk to me like that. I don't let people treat me that way. And I have to say that's a big transference of trash into treasure in my mind. And I actually wish I could tell my younger self this, because then maybe I wouldn't be beating myself up over it for such a long period of time. To make a long story short, I want to look out for the little guy. I want to be able, as a leader, to instill trust, confidence. I value personally honesty, integrity, loyalty, kindness, and friendship. These are the qualities that I'm looking for within a person, and these are the values that I practice every single day. Along with that, I would also say that a few of my gifts in life are that I am emotionally intelligent, I am a fighter, I am a listener, I'm creative, and I'm patient. These are my gifts, these are my values, and I practice them every day. One example of where I used my values and my gifts was at my uncle's mom's funeral. Now, I love my uncle, I love my aunt, and it's very difficult for a family to go through something like that when a loved one passes. It's very sad, it's very emotional, and for them it was even more difficult because pretty much everything went wrong that day. Not only were they saying goodbye to a loved one, but they put her in the wrong coffin. We lost a pallbearer, like somebody couldn't make it at the time, and so all these things were going on. It was chaotic, it was crazy, and so I used my ability, my calling, to basically say, hey, I know you're going through a lot, let me make it easier for you, I'll be the pallbearer. And that's what I did, and to this day, my uncle and my aunt are very appreciative of me. And they were already proud, but I made them a little bit prouder. And people who were there at the service that knew me from when I was just a little kid were really surprised on how I stepped up. So I don't consider it anything. I was just following through. I did what I thought was right, but that just goes to show the impact that you can have on somebody, and it's just an impact that I'm grateful that I could be a part of, and I'm grateful that I can make their lives a little bit easier in such a difficult situation. The dragons that I have to slay are more so internal than external. I am not by any means the perfect person. I have my issues, and my biggest issue is that I struggle to let things go. I will hold on to a grudge for as long as the other person times 10. If something bothers me, it is difficult for me to let that go. I mean, I just gave you a whole rant about my story of elementary school, and that was like 12 years ago. It's difficult for me to let things go, and that is something that I definitely struggle with the most. Another dragon that I have to slay is that I can't help everybody. I am a people pleaser. I want to help as many people as I can. I graduated my undergrad degree, I did my capstone, yet I have helped so many people with their undergrad degrees, capstone, that just because I was part of that same major and I like to help people. I just love to help people, and however I can is what I want to do. And if I can't, I do try and find ways to help them, but it really bothers me when I can't find the solution to the problem. I've sorted this issue out now, but another dragon that I have to slay is my anxiety disorder. My whole capstone was centered around it in my undergrad degree. I got tremendous anxiety with COVID and coming back to school after COVID, that it made it really difficult for me to move forward with my life. And thanks to my friends and my family, I got through it. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for my parents. My parents are my biggest supporters and my biggest fan base. My family, they inspire me to do so much. They put me through school, they put me through college, and now they've set me through and put me through my master's. I mean, I can't thank them even remotely enough for everything that they've done for me. They've helped me along the way. Meanwhile, I'm here in the corner just wanting to watch TV and movies. They put me through school, they put me through sports, they taught me important and valuable lessons that I will hold on forever. And so they are my biggest supporters, and they are definitely the ones that help me slay my dragons. The industry that I want to go into post-graduation is film production. I have had the pleasure of working on a number of short films here, and they have all turned out to be fantastic. The one complaint that I do have for when I actually get into the real world is that the importance of story may be lost on some people. A lot of people just want a production just so they can showcase a product or something like that, but it's all about the story that behind it. That's the importance of it. We don't just make something because we can make something. We make something because there's a meaning, a deeper meaning, something that can be learned. And that is something that I hope to utilize when I get into my career. I don't know where that's going to be yet. I'm still looking, but it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to try and implement while I am there. Anyway, I appreciate all of you for taking your time out of your day to listen to me. Thank you all so much once again. This has been Eric Kender with his Master Story. Goodbye.